Trump went to Walter Reed Medical Center. And you may have heard some about this, but I want to get to what I think is the most infuriating and notable underlying truth to this story. Okay. And that's what we'll get to, but you can see him arriving there. Walter Reed is world renowned. Just keep that in mind. And he went there and you say, hey, why did he need to go to the hospital? Why did he need to go to, I thought he was the best health. And they say, oh, it's just for a yearly checkup. Okay. Reasonable. Even if you're in great health, you should get your checkups. It does happen to be the second checkup this year. So it being your annual physical is a little weird when President Donald Trump visits the military hospital Walter Reed Medical Center on Friday for a planned meeting and remarks with troops. He will also stop by for his routinely yearly checkup, said Leavitt. But for Trump, this yearly checkup will come just 6 months after his last known medical screening. Excuse me. Kind of a funny way to word it. It's like just a yearly checkup after his one 6 months ago. But hey, we want the president to be checked up however much he needs to. This was the outcome of it. And then we'll get to in a second here what I find is way more jarring. But President Donald Trump is in exceptional health, his physician said Friday. This isn't the same physician, but just remember that previous doctors Trump has had who have told us how great of his health he was in. I'm not cognitively. The previous doctor said that he was in better physical fitness than Obama. So, take that for what you will as we go through this. Trump spent roughly 3 hours on Friday with his doctor, called a scheduled follow-up evaluation that was a part of his ongoing health maintenance plan. While there, and this is one part that's just, are you kidding me? Trump also got his yearly flu shot, as well as his COVID-19 booster vaccine. We just covered in the last segment, Trump being like, I don't know, vaccines, sometimes they put the wrong things in them. Sometimes they put enough for a horse, and it causes a kid to become autistic, and then he gets circumcised, so now he's double autistic, and then he gets Tylenol, now he's triple autistic. We just heard all that, casting doubt, but then for him, he's all about it. As they're casting all this doubt onto vaccines with completely unsubstantiated claims and just strange ones like babies being inside of placentas, they're, for themselves, very confident about the COVID-19 booster. Caitlin Collins posting the letter that was released, the readout, and he got his flu shot and COVID booster, which is good. I'm not against that. I'm for it. But it is contradictory to what we just talked about of what they're saying. Dan Pfeiffer said, anti-vax in the streets, pro-vax in the sheets. There we go. But that's not even the part that I think drives me the most batty, like the whales. Before that, let's watch Trump getting asked about why he was going. While we continue through this, please do, if you appreciate the show, click the subscribe button. It's free. All it takes is a little bing with your finger, and then you support the work that we do.
Gentleman, nice tall gentleman, go ahead with the yellow shirt.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wanted to change gears just really quickly and ask you, you're going to Walter Reed tomorrow? What are you having done, and how are you feeling?
I'm meeting with the troops, and I'm also going to do a sort of semi-annual physical, which I do, and I think I'm in great shape, but I'll let you know. But I have no difficulty thus far. Is there wood around here? I'll knock on. No difficulty. Physically, I feel very good. Mentally, I feel very good. I did about 6-7 months ago. I do physicals. I like to, when I'm around, I like to check always early. Always.
When I'm around. Hey, doc, I was just in the neighborhood. Like, as if that's ever how the president gets any medical anything. It's just sort of like, hey, I was down getting ice cream, and I remembered your doctor's office is here. You want to just give me another anal exam?
Lesson for a lot of people. But I also did a cognitive exam, which is always very risky, because if I didn't do well, you'd be the first to be blaring it. And I had a perfect score. And one of the doctors,
like the SAT,
who said he's almost never seen a perfect score. I had a perfect score. I got the highest score, and that made me feel good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's good. You should. You passed.
Woman, man, camera, TV.
We're very proud of you. He goes on to say, I should probably show this because it's kind of funny. Let's see. He goes on to say this.
When they asked, would I like to do one? I said, yeah. I said, did Obama do it? No. Did Bush do it? No. Did Biden do it? I definitely did. Biden wouldn't have gotten the first 3 questions right. No, Biden didn't do it.
Yeah. First 3 questions that go something like, what day is it? What animal is this? Is Tuesday before or after Wednesday? Now, this is the part that really got me, my blood boiling. Ben Meiselas reminded us, saying, just remember, as Trump goes to the hospital for whatever is really going on with him, he's fortunate to have the best health care in the world, which is paid for by U.S. taxpayers. At the same time, he's ripping away basic health care from the same people funding this. That's the truth. And that's the story that I think is even more interesting than any speculation about, is he going a second time because there's something? We know there's something. I mean, his hand, his ankles, his general just look, his speaking, there's obviously something. It's kind of like when, no, I won't use the comparison. Let's not bring Biden into this. We've done enough to Biden. Let's not bring Biden into this.
You're the sucker. You're the loser.
There was something, but okay, so what's way more interesting is that Trump has access to, and that's this parallel that we're observing, is that as he's going to have access to the best healthcare in the world, which the president should have access to, he's overseeing an administration ripping away that very same, or worse even, but just basic coverage for the people who are funding his care. And something about that contrast is just so shocking and so mind-blowing. And it is just like during COVID, when he was going, COVID will go away, it'll disappear, it'll be fine, maybe the disinfectant would work, I don't really like the mask because it smudges my makeup. Although that was actually real, that he would get annoyed with it smudging his makeup. And then there's a photo and you could see just orange on the mask. But then he got COVID himself. And after telling everyone, whatever, slow the testing down, he got to be flown to Walter Reed and get every one of the best possible treatments available as he was disastrously handling the illness of other people. You remember this? This was when he arrived back after he had been at the hospital for COVID. That's breathing. Watch this. Ready? Yeah. Oh. So while he's the president, he should get the best care and be brought back to full health. It was such a stark imagery that he gets that while he was so horribly handling the same illness for other people. Didn't seem to care so much until it impacted him. And now he won't be impacted at all by all of the cuts he's doing to people's health coverage. Meanwhile, instead, even as the shutdown's happening, the priority is going after their perceived enemies. Reuters is reporting that Trump's threatened to crack down on the finances and activities of liberal nonprofits and groups. They're just going, hey, liberal nonprofits and groups, maybe you funded Antifa. Not even a thing. Maybe you funded Antifa, so we're going to blame you for political violence, and now we'll have justification to harass you and to go after you. This is not about trying to reduce political violence. This is about using political violence as the justification for a crackdown they already wanted to do on liberal nonprofits. Opposed to his agenda is a multi-agency effort with top White House aide Stephen Miller playing a central role. Stephen Miller looks kind of like Epstein. The Trump administration plans to deploy America's counterterrorism apparatus, including the FBI, the Department of Homeland Security, and the Justice Department, as well as the Internal Revenue Service and the Treasury Department, against certain left-wing groups it accuses of funding and organizing political violence with non-existent evidence. So you're kind of thinking, well, how are they characterizing this? Let me show you. Because they're saying Antifa, and they're trying to pretend like it's some centralized organization that it's not. But they're saying Antifa is a terrorist organization. So then you're thinking, well, Give me an example of Antifa manifesting. Mike Johnson did, and this should freak you out.
Season because of this nonsense, and we're so angry about it. I mean, I'm a very patient guy, but I have had it with these people. They're playing games with real people's lives. The theory we have right now, they have a Hate America rally that's scheduled for October 18th on the.
Yeah. On October 18th, there's a quote-unquote Hate America rally. Do you think that's real?
Have right now.
I'll tell you what the rally is that he's referring to.
They have a Hate America rally that's scheduled for October 18th on the National Mall. It's all the pro-Hamas wing and the Antifa people. They're all coming out.
And they won't play one Lee Greenwood song.
The House Democrats are selling T-shirts for the event, and it's being told to us that they won't be able to reopen the government until after that rally because they can't face their rabid base. I mean, this is serious business, hurting real people, and I'm beyond words. I can't believe they're actually doing this.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, pro-Hamas Antifa rally, Hate America. Who got the permit? Hate America Inc. got the permit for the pro-Hamas Antifa rally, and then I googled October 18th rally DC. And he's talking about another No Kings protest. Which, by the way, is the most, like, I am proudly a libby lib boy. It's like the most lib thing. Just kind of your standard run-of-the-mill, I don't like Trump. Let's go say we don't want a king. Which you can disagree with the characterization that Trump would want that, or it's just a phrase. I'm literally obviously not a king, but like sort of he wants to centralize power, authoritarian control, and that we don't want that. And even if you disagree with it, Mike, I'm so sick of people using if you disagree with me, you hate America. The reason we would say we don't want an aspiring dictator is because of a love for what America is supposed to stand for. And you know that. You know that would be the argument people make. So to then tell people, yeah, this is Hate America Incorporated is holding this rally and the Democrats are really afraid about it. And it's just going to be they're just going to play Bad Bunny all day. Bad Bunny this, Bad Bunny that, Cardi B this. It's going to be... So what is scary, it's obviously dishonest, but then what's scary is that's what you're calling Antifa? We had millions of protesters at the last No Kings one, and it was super peaceful. Holding signs, marching, and I say this lovingly, literal grandmas and grandpas holding their signs beautifully. Because of a patriotism. And you say that's Antifa. You have Dr. Annie Andrews, who's running against Lindsey Graham, if I'm not mistaken, said, I don't know, the last No Kings rally I went to is pretty much all about how much we love America. And so then the language gets real frightening when Pam Bondi's like, we're going to do to Antifa. And he just said that the going out and No Kings protesters are Antifa. What we did to the drug cartels.
We're not going to stop at just arresting the violent criminals we can see in the streets. Fighting crime is more than just getting the bad guy off the streets. It's breaking down the organization brick by brick. Just like we did with cartels, we're going to take the same approach, President Trump, with Antifa. Destroy the entire organization from top to bottom. We're going to take them apart. Thanks to your bold leadership.
You've been extrajudicially killing people that we don't really know if they're at all who you said they were with these quote unquote drug boats, narco terrorists. And then Trump's like, hey, I would not want to be a fisherman right now because who knows who we're going to hit. Are we going to order a drone strike on the Portland Chicken Man? Is that where we're going here? Now, again, I'm just trying to illustrate how disconnected, if you took their argument to its fullest conclusion, you'd be to danger zone like never before. I'm not alleging that's where they're going, obviously. I don't want to get you into irrational frenzy. It's just, that's the dangerous language where they're just throwing around, these people are terrorists, these people hate America, we're going to do to the Antifa terrorists what we did to the drug boats. She said drug cartels, but just that didn't connect to the drug boats. Or the fishermen, we don't know. And you have to, especially when you say you're doing this to stop political violence, be far more mindful of your language, but they're just completely going out of control. And the next step in that is we got Comey. They're prosecuting Comey. Now they're prosecuting Letitia James. Prosecutor handpicked by President Trump secured an indictment of New York Attorney General Letitia James on bank fraud and false statement charges in the Eastern District of Virginia on Thursday after the president publicly demanded she be charged. So this is, if I'm not mistaken, Lindsey Halligan again. And after Trump made a list, 3 people were, he has a longer list, but the 3 people he said in the post that was supposed to be a direct message to Pam Bondi. Have I said subscribe in this segment already? No? Yes? Yes, I have? Oh, well, tell them, Andrew. Doesn't hurt. In that post that was supposed to be a direct message to Pam Bondi, he says, Letitia James, Adam Schiff, James Comey. We now got 2 out of 3 that they've indicted. The 5-page indictment accuses Ms. James of falsely claiming in loan documents that she would use a home she purchased in Norfolk, Virginia as a secondary residence and using it instead as a rental investment property, allowing her to receive favorable terms that would save her close to $19,000. So that's what the indictment's alleging. Woo! She's a criminal. Look at that. She got a loan for a secondary residence and she was going to live in it, and then she used it as a rental property. Lock her up. Here is Lawrence O'Donnell kind of breaking this down.
Mortgages for their primary home or their secondary home, and then decided at some point to rent out that house. And none of them thought they had to then immediately refinance their homes because they didn't. They were just renting out their property. The key words in this indictment that the most incompetent acting U.S. attorney in history offered absolutely no proof of. The key words are, as James then knew. This indictment presents as a fact that Attorney General James knew when she was filling out the application form that she would later rent out the house. And if she didn't know that at the time that she was filling out the form, or if she just hadn't decided at the time if she was going to rent out the house, there is no possible crime in this case. This is a state of mind crime.
I want to ask you, because what you're going to hear them is go, the MAGAs will go, oh, so now you're not for law and order. And it's like, no, law and order, the freak out of all of us. I don't care. But please tell me, MAGA, if Trump had been charged for saying on a document, a loan document, that he was not, whatever it is, that he was not going to do his secondary residence as a rental property, but was going to use it, and then later rented it out. And we have to assume what was stated, according to Lawrence O'Donnell in the indictment, is that she knew she was going to do that at the time of signing this document, and they brought that against Trump. You think all of you would be like, yeah, that's effed up. Never mind. January 6th, aight. Classified documents, aight. Grabbed by the P word, aight. But saying on a loan document, I don't have to do the whole thing. You get it. That's where I draw the line. I think that seems a little unrealistic, but okay. Let's check in with one of them, Scott Jennings, because I thought he didn't think fraud of the sort was a big deal.
She tried to ruin his life and try to make it so he couldn't run for president.
So what are we going to do?
I mean,
She brought forward a case that she thought was meritorious, and it was found that it was meritorious.
By the way, thank God she failed in her ultimate goal. Otherwise, we wouldn't be bringing these hostages
Scott,
on Monday.
wasn't the argument about that case, that civil case that she brought, that there were no victims to the alleged wrongdoing.
That was always
wasn't that the argument?
One of the
so then wouldn't, if you were to apply that to this situation, how do you justify then charging her over $18,000, which by the way, again, like, those are allegations.
Right,
we don't know if there were communications between her and the mortgage company about the change of a change of status for the property or anything like that. We don't know about that. But do you think that this is more of a crime with a victim than the one against Trump?
I can only read back to you her own words. When powerful people cheat to get better loans, it comes at the expense of hardworking people. That's what James said. That's the standard
so
she applied to Trump.
So you think that applies to Trump then?
I think we're.
I mean, she thought it did.
So Scott, hold on. Do you think that applies to Trump? If you think it applies to her, fine.
I'm giving you her justification for prosecuting him was that.
Do you think it
I don't know why they wouldn't apply.
Listen, as they say, two wrongs don't make a right. She's either wrong about Trump or you're wrong about Trump. Which one is it?
No, look, she brought the case. She went through the process in New York. What happened happened. Now she's got a case against her.
So Trump's
the
case
will
was
play
legitimate then, in your mind?
Oh, I don't think it should have ever been brought. I think it was a travesty.
You see what's going on? It's like, you either think it's serious or not. I'm just telling you but what do you believe, Scott? I thought you're the master of owning libs.
Because when you own as many libs as I do, you got to put a place to put them all.
Oh. I forgot how much I liked that one. And it just kept going the next night. It's just...
But why aren't we just asking the basic question, is she guilty? I mean, there's evidence.
Oh! I see. So now you're on board with what I was saying the whole time. Because again, I'm actually with you. Yeah, let the process play out. I'm a little bit happy. This sounds weird. Hear me correctly. If you hear me wrongly, it's your fault, not mine. If they hadn't brought the cases, I think it would be hard for people to see just how brazen Trump's targeting is. And they're gonna win the cases, especially, it seems, the Comey one. I haven't learned a ton yet about Letitia James. It just happened. But this is how because I do believe enough right now in our process. And if they actually take this case forward, Trump's gonna lose, most likely. And that's what needs to happen. I actually, when they go, well, let the process play out, great. I got my popcorn, let's go.
Charges. The evidence actually looks like there might be something here. I mean, is that not important to anyone? We're talking about all the political back and forth. What if she's guilty?
I mean,
the New York Attorney General committing mortgage fraud, making false statements, isn't that a big deal to anyone? Whether she opposes Trump or not.
It's a fair point, but it would be more fair if you had actually applied that logic when there were several separate cases, including, by the way, on an issue that your former boss, Mitch McConnell, said the justice system needed to handle, which was January 6th. When Trump was being investigated for that, it was called a witch hunt. When Mitch McConnell said the solution to holding Trump accountable for January 6th is the criminal justice system. So at that time, Republicans were saying that's all just a witch hunt. They weren't interested in whether or not he was guilty.
Well, the justice system did engage in January the 6th. They indicted and convicted hundreds and hundreds of people.
You all called it a witch hunt.
I did not do anything of the sort.
Okay, all right.
I think anybody who engages in violence ought to be
I'm glad that we agree that it was not a witch hunt.
Yeah, but I think what you're saying,
we got.
Are we doing this? We're doing this. Okay. All right, fine. You know what? Let's do it. They want us to believe they weren't saying the cases against Trump were a witch hunt. Was Scott Jennings going, listen, I'm concerned about these cases, but the good part is, what if he's guilty? We might as well learn if he's guilty and let the process play out. And I actually think that's the beautiful part of our Justice Department. Is that what you were saying, Scott, when Trump was indicted 4 times? I don't remember that. But now he's like, but imagine if the New York Attorney General, imagine if in the United States of America, the New York Attorney General, Letitia James, had lied on a loan document. The travesty of justice if she does not see jail. After years of going that the travesty of justice was Trump for trying to steal an election was being prosecuted, and but that's just totally outrageous that you'd be prosecuted for that. I say let the process play out, let them beat Trump in court. That's what I'm looking forward to. And hey, if she's actually guilty of something, law and order. Pam Bondi reportedly didn't know, though, that Trump installed prosecutor was going to present Letitia James' case to grand jury. Halligan's just going absolutely berserk. And then, this is a total miscellaneous clip, but I don't know where else to put it. Speaking of berserk, there we go. Winsome Earl Sears is the Republican gubernatorial candidate in Virginia in this off-year election, going against Abigail Spanberger. And look at this part from the debate that went really viral.
My opponent has previously said that she does not think that gay couples should be allowed to marry. She has said that she is, quote unquote, morally opposed to same-sex marriage. My opponent has also previously said that she thinks it's okay for someone to be fired from their job for being gay. That's discrimination.
Ms. Spanberger, your time is up, and now...
That's not discrimination to fire someone for being gay? Winsome Earl Sears, what is discrimination if that's not discrimination? That's not discrimination. That's just hating gay people. Look at this. Look at this goofball. Please.